Hello, welcome to another video where we want to look more into the 1,000 years of Satan or the devil or the old dragon being let off by the angel before Satan goes to deceive everyone in the four corners of the earth to a battle in Israel where they want to fight with Israel, and then God, YEHOVAH, comes and destroys them all. So that's the synopsis or the scenario we have seen, which is mentioned in Revelation 20. I think from verses 1 downwards up to 8, 7. So here I've got the Bible time, which in the first video you need to install. So let's use this a little bit more. So I've cleared the small windows which comes as default with the Bible time. So I'll show you after the installation. So here we have got Bibles, commentaries, lexicon, and dictionary. So we want to go to Revelation chapter 10. So we'll go Bible. Then you can choose whatever Bible you fancy. So these are all Bibles, but the one I'll be using here is King James Version. So you just need to highlight, double click it, and there we have it. Because I had previously gone already to select Revelation, there you see is going to Revelation chapter 1 verse 1, but we want chapter 20. So this is small tab here. When you bring the mouse here comes, you click that. There is you choose which book you want. So Revelation John, which is selected here. Then underneath the chapter 1 here, there is also a small arrow which comes in. So if you click there, we want 20. Then here you see is 0, so we need to change that one to 1. So that means is Revelation 20 verse 1. And in verse 1 it has been highlighted here. So you see now we have just filling this window. Now I'll go back to this so that I can put everything in perspective. So I'll click the chevron there. So we have chose the Bible here. Now if I go for commentaries here, because there is a lot of things you need to think of, read. So we could use the commentaries here, which is commentary in English. So we'll bring down the list. So let's see, we want to use Schofield. So once you highlight Schofield, just double click it. Then you see that this pen now is divided in two. So you have got the commentary on the left, and then on the right you have got the King James version here. So if I drag the window here and bring it over here, you see I can be able to swap the commentary and the the Bible itself here. So then you can also come here and just, so we are remaining with the dictionary and the lexicons. So here we just use the English commentaries and also the Bible here. So here in the Schofield here, if we go to the top, is still uh, using the highlighted portion here. So here, as you can see, is also going Revelation 1 11. So let's change this to 20. And 1 here. So in the score field, we don't have notes yet on this, but if we change to 1, it will just give us the rundown, the commentary for everything here. So you've got Liberation 20 here, down here, 20 to 5 after a little season. So let's bring it one to one there, and so if we look in the commentary here, we have got the writer Apostle John in 1. He says is about AD 96. Then the theme here is Revelation is Jesus Christ presented in the threefold way. So you could read, you see that there's good information which we need to include and think about. It has also commented on Revelation chapter 20, verse 4 to 5 and 7 to 15. So 4 to 5 is talking about the little season, which is one of the videos I will do also based on the little season. But now I want to focus on the 1,000 years. Now, if we read in verse 1 here, it says, "And I saw an angel coming down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold of the dragon, the old serpent, the devil, and Satan." So he's the same one, but he's been referred to as the dragon, the old serpent. The old serpent, I think, is what the Bible used in Genesis in the Garden of Eden. Then you have got the devil. I think in the New Testament there is a lot mention of the devil and Satan, which is mentioned in Revelation also. So he is the same person, the same angel, but having different names here. So he was bound him 1,000 years and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should not he should he should deceive the nations no more until the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. So the devil, the Satan, is going to deceive the nations, but then after the end of the 1,000 years, he's not going to deceive anymore, because this is the time he will be after that, because he will be loosened for a little season. So the main question here is, what is the 1,000 years? So without giving you too much questions and aggravation, let me give you the verses to back my definition what the 1,000 years is. So we wanted to know when the 1,000 years began, where it ends, and also how we could identify it. But if we read Psalms chapter 90 verse 4, 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by, or like like a watch in the night. So here, if we go in the Ecclesiastic, chapter 6, verse 6, um, even if he lives 1,000 years twice over, but fails to enjoy his prosperity, do not all go to the same place? You know? Then the last one, which is the nail in the coffin for what 1,000 years is Second Peter. So this should be Second Peter, chapter 3, verse 8. But do not forget this one thing, dear friends. With the so this should be YEHOVAH. I will explain later on why I change them to YEHOVAH instead of the Lord. So so it will be with YEHOVAH, a day is like 1,000 years. So there is the answer there. A day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. So in essence, what it means, Satan will be imprisoned for a day, not for 1,000 because 1,000 years is just a an an analogy, or we could say, just to substitute the not analogy, but the Bible is just substituting. Instead of saying a day, is saying 1,000 years. So 1,000 years is a day. So in the next uh, video, or in our discussion and study, we need to look into the little season, because in the Revelation it mentioned that Satan will be let loose for a little season. So we need to focus what is the little season, because there is more to the story than what we see here. So I hope uh, this has been informative, and I thank you for viewing.